Hello everyone, welcome back to Consolecraft, my Minecraft series where I basically just play Minecraft and talk to you guys. So, on the last episode, we kind of did some more work to this base right here. We haven't quite gotten all of the stuff that we wanted to get done quite yet. We did do a little bit with this building right here. If you remember, we put in some flooring that we're not too sold on yet. It's kind of growing on me, but I'd still like to do something else. And also we added a little bit of texture to the base here. And I'm going to turn my headset down a little bit because it's really loud in my ear. Alright, and so here's kind of the plan. And apparently we're cooking some stuff. I don't remember what's cooking. Oh, nope, we got baked potatoes cooking. So we're going to take some of this stuff out of here. We're going to throw that in our food chest, which is right here. And now let's talk about a little plan for this episode. I am going to take a few minutes and go cut down some trees. Hopefully get some more saplings, because last time we got saplings we didn't get too many. So, but I want to clear out a lot of this forest over here. Over the course of today's session, which I probably am not going to show, obviously, because that would take way too long. I may make way too long of an episode. But I know last time I said I wanted to get to work on the enchanting room, but I think we need to do a little bit more work to this base right here. I like the way it's looking, but I feel like there's more I could do with it. I think throwing some wood braces would be kind of cool to make this look a little bit different. We'll see if we like it. If not, we will figure out something else. But right now, I think this will look just fine. I have a few ideas of things that we might be able to do to make this build look quite a bit better. But right now, we're going to go to sleep, and I will be back with you guys as soon as I acquire all the resources that I want. So, we will see you in just a sec. Alright guys, so we're back. We got a lot accomplished. I feel like I could have gotten more wood than I did, but I went through 3 iron axes, and we got quite a bit done. I got a bunch of saplings. If you can't tell, there's a bunch of trees growing over here, which is great. I fed our cows, fed our sheep, fed our chickens, fed our pigs, and we are good to go. But the most important thing we found is birch. And the reason birch is important, if you remember, I am going to eventually change... Wow, these spruce trees really grew. Wow, those are massive. That's going to be a lot of wood. Anyway, so yeah, we have all these nice trees right here now. We planted our farm. Everything's going great. We spent, I think, about 3 or 4 in-game days doing this. So I'll show you kind of what our result was. If you take a look over here in our wood chest, that's what we got. Granted, it's not spectacular, but it's better than I would have hoped. I know we're missing 2 kinds of trees, I believe. I'm not quite sure what one of them is. I know one's dark oak. Maybe we're not missing one of the kinds of trees. And there's only 5 types of trees. I don't actually remember. For some reason I'm blanking on how many types of trees there are, but actually I want to keep those potatoes, because I want to cook those. But, let's see. Poisonous potato, carrots, seeds. I'm going to throw these potatoes in here. I also got a bunch of this stuff while I was out there too. We're going to throw all this in the food chest. We should be set on food for a while. I also, obviously, made the food chest bigger, and I ooh, I got arrows too. Cool. Don't know where I got those, but, oops, wrong chest. Mob chest. There we go. We got 2 more chests, and I put our diamond pickaxe in here, so we have made a few more chests. Figured we might need them. But the one reason I'm so happy about getting the birch is now we can tear out this floor and replace it with birch, which I think will look far, far better. So I'm going to do that, and I will be back with you, and I'm going to try and cover as much of this inner area as I can with birch. We'll see how many birch planks I get. I don't think I'll have quite enough to do this entire area, but we're going to find out. So, with that said, I will be back with you in just a few minutes. Alright guys, I am back, and I like this much, much better. I actually went kind of crazy with the birch, and I put it everywhere. I filled this room with it, and I kind of took the opportunity because I got so much of the birch. I used pretty much an entire stack and turned that all into planks and then slabs. And I think I'm going with a little bit of a plan here, a little bit of pre-planning for the future. I think I want some of these rooms to come down a level, just to give this fortress something, more than just, flat room, everything's flat. So I figured I might add a little bit of, a dip to some of the rooms. I did the same thing over here with the enchanting room, which I think will look pretty cool whenever it's done. Obviously, I still gotta finish the walls and stuff in here, and it's gonna be a while before we get this base done, but I think it'll look pretty darn cool when we're done with it. Anyway, so I was talking about putting braces in these walls. And I think that's going to look pretty okay, and I think it will give it some depth if I do that. So here's kind of my plan. Is I'm going to... I guess we'll do this from the inside because it might be a little bit easier to do from the inside because I don't have to worry about this wall right here, which will probably eventually be logs too. But I think what I'm going to do, and this will probably get rid of the door, but that's alright. Let's grab some, I'm thinking spruce. Let's grab some spruce logs. And let's knock out this wall right here. And let's kind of just go across right here with the spruce logs. Make sure I pick up all the stone. Okay. And let's go... Boop, boop. I fell. That's alright. I'll do that, and then we'll kind of come over like this, and then we'll do something like, oops, something like that. And do I like this? Does that look alright? I don't know that spruce is the right log. I think it's too dark for what I'm going for. I know I don't like just having the stone like I did. Let's see how oak looks. I think the oak definitely looks better, but I feel like maybe I feel like the depth isn't there. So we won't actually need this here at all. Yeah, I actually kind of like that. And then we can do something like... Where's that? Oh, that's one too high. We could do something like this. take out this wall. And then we can do boop, boop. I definitely am feeling this. So if we brought this, oops, we brought this over here. Like so. And brought that down. And then these walls back here like this. So basically, like, everywhere there's a doorway, do something like this. And then maybe every, like, 1, 2, and like right here, we do like a log here, and then a log here. And then a log here, in all the areas we don't have doorways. And we can kinda have braces going throughout the base that way. That might be kinda cool. Only thing is, I'm not sure how that's gonna look from the outside when it's done. I don't know. I guess really the only way to know is to just do it. I mean, I'm not one for planning, clearly, these kind of things out. I just kind of do what feels right at the time. And I definitely like the way that this looks. And I think that once we get this wall in and this wall in, it will look better. Same thing with right here. Because oh, but you know what? That's going to be a problem. Well, not really. That won't be a problem at all. We'll just change how I was doing this. We'll bring this back up 1. Did I miss a bar? I did. This back up 1, and then we'll do that, and that will allow me to kick this wall back 1. And my concern with doing this originally was that it was going to mess with the, oops. That was going to kind of mess with the integrity of 1, 2. Or just 1. How high are these? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, yeah, 1 more. Was that it was going to mess with the integrity of the, oh, no, I was right the first time. Sorry, that was going to mess with the integrity of the circle motif that I was doing. Like, if I were to... And then we'll do... And I know this kind of ruins the floor I just did, but we'll fix it. I promise we'll fix it. Crap. There we go. 1, 2... 1, 2. But it doesn't really mess with the circle motif if I'm only indenting the walls like at doorways. I think it'll look okay. I definitely think that adding the oak logs in to these areas gives it a little bit more. Oops. A little bit more realism as far as physics. So let's sleep. This is interesting. Like this is why people build in creative first, because of situations like this. Yeah, you know, let's come back to it when we have more materials. What I might even do is I might even... I don't know. I'll figure it out later. I kind of backed myself into a corner with that particular idea, because now all these walls are going to be one-off. And I mean, I guess I suppose I could fix it just by... I could fix it just by redoing all the walls. I mean, that's one option. And that might be something I end up doing. Because if I kick all the rooms back by 1... So, you know, move these 2 back here, move these 2 back here, then kick this whole thing over 1. It would solve the problem. The rooms would still be symmetrical. Even if I did fill this in, it would be symmetrical. But that's a lot of work for a different day. So right now we're just going to leave it as is. Yeah, I think for the rest of this episode, because I'm sure that we still have a little bit of time, is I'm going to take about, I don't know, 5 minutes. I'm going to run to our strip mine. I'm going to take 5 minutes and do some strip mining and kind of do a talky part of this episode, because I kind of just want to talk about a few things that aren't really relevant to Minecraft. And the best time to do that is, well, you know, farming for some stuff. So I'll be back with you guys in a few minutes, and I'll chat at you. Alright guys, so what I want to talk about, and I know, you know, I'm not a popular YouTuber or anything like that, and I know that, you know, this video probably won't get seen by a whole lot of people, and that's okay. I just kind of wanted to talk about something for a minute that I think could be relevant to some people who might view this. You know, because life is hard. I mean, let's be honest. Life is not an easy thing to deal with at times. And I'm gonna get a little bit personal, because, and I know that's kind of, you know, a big no-no on the internet, never get personal, but I kind of mentioned it in my first episode, if you guys saw it. That's that, you know, I have a lot of free time on my hands right now, because I recently lost my job due to no fault of my own. My position was just gotten rid of. The company I worked for had a client that just didn't want to keep keep my position. And so because I was a third-party type service, and my position was gotten rid of, they offered me another position, and due to my physical situation, I can't actually work the position I was offered, and so I was forced to pretty much resign without really wanting to. And that's a situation that I hope isn't common, but I know that people it happens all the time. They lose their jobs, they lose their livelihood, and it's hard. It's very, very hard. And I try to stay positive with the whole situation. It wasn't my fault. There's nothing I could have done about it. And it sucks. It puts me in a tough position, puts my wife in a tough position, and we have a kid. And, with the state that I live in, it's very, very hard to get disability or unemployment because the state's broke, and they don't really care about people like me that are kind of stuck in a situation that we can't really get out of at the moment. And I mean, that's kind of why I started YouTube, and that's kind of what this video or what this talk is going to be about. Like, why would someone like me start YouTube? And the answer is it's pretty much that simple. I don't really have anything else to do right now. I mean, I'm stuck at home most of the time when I'm not watching. When I'm not watching my son, and when my wife's asleep, and this is the hours I used to work. Like, I'm filming this, and it's probably, I don't know what time, I would check my phone, it's 1 o'clock in the morning, and these are the hours I used to work. Like, I used to work 8 p.m. to 4 a.m., and it works for me, because I'm a night owl, and, it kind of gets to a point now where I'm kind of sitting here going, what did I do wrong? Like, I'm almost 30, and here I am, sitting in my house at 1 o'clock in the morning, jobless, going, what's going to happen to me tomorrow, kind of thing. And I'm notorious for just, in general, having really bad luck, and really bad timing for things to go wrong in my life, and I mean, that's just, that's just part of what happens with me. And over the years, you get used to it, but it's still really frustrating to have that kind of a situation where you sit there and you don't know what's coming tomorrow. You don't know if things are going to get worse, if they're going to get better. And, you struggle with mental health issues. Like, I've struggled with depression since I was a teenager. And it's not easy for, someone like me to be told, we're taking this from you. Like, there's no option, there's nothing we can do. Like, this position's going away, and here are 2 other options that we have that you can't do. And, whenever I tell them, hey, I have 2 herniated discs in my back, I can't do this job, why didn't you tell us sooner? Well, because the job that I had, it wasn't an issue. I sat in an office chair all day and pretty much did nothing but, drove around in my car once an hour and, checked an alarm on the wall. I mean, that's literally what I did. And now it's like, okay, we want you to do all these jobs where you can't. Whoa, that's water. I'm guessing there's a cave right here, or I just dug into the ocean. Is there a cave right here? There's a creeper right there, first of all. There is a mine shaft right here, and we are going to keep this spot in mind for later. So, let's... There's another creeper. We're going to do that. And then we're going to go down here. And there's no source of water, because of course there is. I was just trying to... Hang on a second, guys. I'll get back to this in a second. I'm trying to get rid of this water so I can fight this creeper, so he doesn't kill me, but that's probably going to happen anyway. There's the other source of water, and there's the other creeper. So let's stick a torch up there. Well, that could have gone worse. Alright, so we now know that there is a mine shaft here, which we will come back to later. Obviously, I'm not going to do it tonight because we don't have time, but we'll come back to this mine shaft. We'll explore a little bit next time. But we know it's there. Fantastic. I've been looking for that thing for a while. I've heard it numerous times. So anyway. But, so... I guess the reason I wanted to get this off chest is, why is someone like me doing YouTube? Someone who, is, I guess, struggling to find his way at 30. And, I realized when I lost my job that there are other things I can do. Like, my whole life, I've been a security guard, I've worked in the law enforcement field, that's all I've done for literally 17 years. Well, not 17, 16 years, because I started as a police cadet explorer whenever I was 13. And so that's the career path I wanted for myself whenever I was 13. And so I stuck at it. I did all the training I could do. I took all the extra courses, and I worked security for as many places as I could. I worked in corrections for a while, and for a while I enjoyed it. Like, I thought it was fun. It was something I wanted to do, and some things happened to me, and I decided I didn't want to do it anymore. And that happens. That happens to people who, don't. That happens to people who don't really know what they want. Like, you think you know what you want, and then you get what you want, and it's like, this isn't really what I wanted or what I expected, or, like what I thought it would be. Like, I thought I was going to be something else, and it's not for me. And, to be honest with you, could I have stayed in law enforcement and been fine? Yeah, I totally could have. I was decent at what I did, and it's a career where, you make a lot of friends and you make a lot of enemies, and some of the people who should be your enemies are your friends, and some people who should be your friends are your enemies. And, that's really oversimplifying it, but that's true to an extent. Like, the people you don't expect to back you up are the people who back you up, and the people who should be backing you up don't. And whether it be for whatever reason, their reason, your reason, it doesn't matter. That's just what happens. And I don't necessarily think that it's something to be concerned about when you're my age that you don't know what you want to do. The benefit that I have now is, now that I've gotten this far and this has happened to me, and we've been through all this, that I know what I want to do. I figured it out. The light bulb, ding, went on, and I got it. And a lot of things made that happen. And I'm grateful to a lot of people who, whether they realize it or not, have helped me realize who I am. And some of those people don't even know who they are. And that's maybe something that should be said, maybe it's not. But at the same time, I don't expect people to do the things that they do. Like, I was raised and grew up in a world where everyone's out to get you, everyone has a bad side, no one is perfect, you don't look for the good in everybody, look for the bad in everybody. And so I've come from ooh, diamonds, fantastic. But I've come from a position in life and a background in life where you don't look for the good in people. You expect the worst in people. And that was what was holding me up for so long. I was waiting forever for people to turn on me. And turn into exactly what I'd expect them to turn into. And that doesn't always happen. And there are good people. And that's just it. Like, that's why I don't want to do what I was doing. And, people don't get that. Why I spent my entire life training for something that I'm ultimately not going to do. And the reason is because it made me somebody I didn't want to be. It made me somebody I don't feel should I'm trying to think of how to word this. It made me feel like I never wanted to. I never wanted to be the guy that, you know, someone does something good for you and it's like, okay, that's really nice you did this thing for me. I appreciate the thing you did for me. What do you want? Like, I don't want to be that guy. But I was that guy. I was that guy for a long time. I waited for everybody. To a point where I would sabotage relationships for stuff like that. Like, I would put stuff there that wasn't there just for the sake of being right. And that's not okay. That's not okay for anybody involved. Me, the person in question, the people that, you know, are the ones who are legitimately trying to be there for me. Like, that was never okay. And, you know, and I've dabbled in other things. Like, there's other things I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to write, but I've never had time to. I've always wanted to be a screenwriter. Never had time to do that. I always wanted to, you know, make movies and be entertaining, and I wanted to be a pro wrestler for the longest time. I'm too old for that now, and with all my recent injuries, that's not an option. But that's something I wanted to do. And I let all the stuff that people put on me, you know, change my mind. I let these people who thought they knew what was best for me try to tell me that, hey, you know, you'll never make it if you do this. You'll never, you can't, or you just straight up can't do this. You can't. It's not something that you can do. For the reason of, you know, it's just like people like us don't have success, or people like you don't have success. Or, you know, just that negativity that people have. And, you know, it won't be you. It can't be you. That's just not how life works. You know, you're not the one in a million that succeeds like that. And, you know, now that I'm in the position that I'm in, I'm like, you know what? Screw those people. Right? Like, just because someone tells you you can't doesn't mean that you can't. And if you're afraid to try and you're afraid to fail, you're never going to know whether or not you were good enough to do it in the first place. Or that you have the skill to do it in the first place. And I think that's what I've taken away from that situation. Like, I'm tired of people telling me I can't do something. And that's why I decided to do YouTube. That's why I've decided to, you know, try to make something of myself more than I was. Not that there's anything wrong with the career path that I chose to begin with. I mean, I think, obviously, that being a police officer or being, you know, in that field, whether it be, you know, security or corrections or, you know, military police or military in general, like career military kid, like, to me, all that stuff is fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with that career path. It's just not for me. It's not where I want to be. I want to be somewhere different. I don't want to be my parents. I don't want to be what everyone keeps telling me I should be. And then, you know, and when I say everyone very loosely, that's just kind of the word I chose. It's probably a poor word choice, because not everyone's telling me, oh, hey, you should be a cop, because that's, you know, that's all you've ever known. But, at the same time, like, people do. That's exactly what happens when you spend your life doing something that people want you to do, or what people think you should do. You know, they keep telling you this is what you need to do. I've had people tell me before that, you know, you should join the military, or, you know, why don't you go apply to be a dispatcher, or why don't you do this, or why don't you do that? And it's all in that same field I'm now trying to avoid. And people don't understand when I say I don't want to do that. Like, even, people are telling me, oh, well, it's something that will, you'll make the money you need to support your family this way. And I get that argument. I do. I really understand what people mean by, oh, you need to support your family. And I agree with them. I do need to support my family. But I can only do so much for my family when I'm unhappy. Like, in order to have a happy family, a happy relationship, and not watch it all fall apart, in my opinion, is you have to be happy yourself. And for a long time, I wasn't. I was not a happy person. I got up every day and didn't even want to get out of bed. Like, literally, even with my 2-year-old son, I didn't want to get out of bed. I still did it because that's just what you do when you're a dad. You don't want to do certain things, you do it anyway because you have to. Because it's the right thing to do. But it doesn't mean you want to. And the difference between, 3 months ago and now is that now I want to. Like, I'm still not getting any more sleep than I was when I was working because I'm doing this now. But the difference is, and score more diamonds. The difference is now, I want to do what I'm doing. As easy as my job was before, when I basically sat at work and did nothing for 8 hours, I still hated it because it's not what I wanted to do. And to some people it doesn't make sense. You had the easiest job in the world. I know. I don't want an easy job. I don't want to feel like my talents are being wasted. And again, with the way I've been trained and the way I've basically lived my majority of my adult life, I am well trained to do that line of work. That's what I am skilled at, but I have other skills. And I guess ultimately I got tired of people telling me that I didn't. And these aren't just people on the street saying, oh, hey, you can't do this. These are people who are important to me telling me this. And, to me that's not okay. And I let it hold me back for so long because, if so-and-so doesn't believe in me, how can I believe in myself? And it doesn't matter what other people believe. It only matters what you believe as as an individual. What you believe in yourself that you can do. So with this last iron pickaxe about to break, I'll kind of leave it at that. But, I guess my message to anyone who watches this is don't let people tell you can't do something. And don't let that stigma hold you back from doing what you want to do. Because this is what I want to do. I want to, for the money or for not the money, whatever matters to me, whatever is important to me at this point in time, I want to do. And right now, what's important to me is being creative and being entertaining and finding ways to flex my creativity and be myself and not be restricted by what everyone's telling me I should be. Because I let that hold me back for so long. People telling me you can't do this, or you shouldn't do this, or you should dress this way, or you should look this way, or you should have your hair cut this way. And I just... And if that's what you need in your life, you need someone telling you that, then do it. But that's not for me. And I don't think it's okay for anyone to have to live their life feeling like they don't belong in their own skin. And that's exactly how I felt. And it's a very, very heavy thing to have to realize that, this is not who you are. This is not who you were meant to be. This is not what everyone wanted you to be. And you need to be you. And stop trying to be what they wanted you to be. And I still, to this to this moment, wonder if I've made the right decision to keep doing what I'm doing, instead of buckling down and really working at what I want. Because I know there's going to be people in my life who are going to tell me, this is not what you should be focusing on right now. And what people don't get, it doesn't matter who they are, what people do not get is that just because you're doing something does not mean that it's the only thing important to you. Sitting on my chair in my apartment, playing Minecraft and recording myself talking for all this time is not my only focus right now. But doing this is what's going to get me to where I want to be. Whether it be just blowing off steam and playing a game that I enjoy and having anyone out there just enjoy it. That's really what matters to me. And then, getting physically better, because I haven't been okay. Physically, I haven't been okay. Mentally, I haven't been okay. And that needs to change. And I think everyone should be able to be who they want to be and be happy without having people telling them you can't do this or you shouldn't do this. And I know at this point I'm pretty much kind of rambling, and I'm going to wrap up here now that we're back at the base and sun's going down, it's getting nighttime, and everything's going to go nuts. And I've probably been talking way longer than I want this episode to go, and that's okay. But if you take anything from this, just take away that you need to be you. Not to let anybody else tell you who you are. Because I did that for a long time. And I paid for it. So don't let the world dictate who you are. Because you're better than that. Everyone's better than that. And I can't even remember where I put half my stuff now. Huh. But now is not the time, for me anyway, to continue to let myself be controlled by what everyone else wants me to be. And if you're one of those people who's in the same position that I'm in, then you need to be that way too. It's time to focus on yourself. And do what you feel you need to do. Oops. So, on that note, I am going to talk to you guys later. And next time, we will work on the base a little bit more. And maybe, just maybe, if I can get enough builder together, we will start working on the enchanting room. But until then, guys, I will catch you later.